Cricket presents The Warm-Up. Hey everybody, Neil Beasley here. Another great week of Texas high school football coming up, so let's get you warmed up. It's week 7 and time for the matchup the entire state has been waiting for, Duncanville DeSoto. Let's preview that game, plus some other key battles in the lineup. What could possibly make a matchup between two defending 6A state champions any better? Well, how about an extra week to prepare for the contest? That's right, both Duncanville and DeSoto had byes last week, so they've worked 12 solid days preparing for what we all feel like will be an epic matchup. For all intents and purposes, this one will also be for the 11 6A title, as it has the past several years before each team goes their separate divisions for their playoff runs. The Panthers are undefeated at 4-0. Their last loss came to DeSoto a year ago. No way head coach Reginald Samples has let his squad forget about that one. The Eagles were up 14-0 before Samples' offense even got on the field. Duncanville has so many weapons on offense, but it will be their defense that might turn the tide in the Panthers' favor. Playmakers like Javion Holiday, KJ Ford, Tyron Polley Jr. will be asked to cover some of the best offensive talent around. DeSoto can score numerous ways behind quarterback Keldon Ryan. The transfer quarterback has done it with his arm, sure, but it's his legs that it's propelled DeSoto into one of the best ground attacks in the area. Teamed with Tiger Ryden and Mason Johnson-Cook, the Eagles have scored 25 touchdowns on the ground. DeSoto does have a loss in their ledger this year. They bounced back to take care of business in district play. All eyes will be on Eagle Stadium, as this is the most anticipated matchup in the state of Texas. In 5A, Arlington Seguin took their first loss of the season last week. Mansfield Timberview needed to shake that off pretty quick as they visit Argyle Friday night. It's a bit of a shocker for the Cougars as Timberview had struggled scoring on the year but scored 38 on Seguin. Head coach Joe Gordon will need to get his boys to tighten up against a solid Eagles team that can methodically move the ball down the field behind quarterback McGuire Gasperson. Seguin has never traveled to Argyle for a game, and it might be a rude awakening. The Eagles' passing game is sneaky good, especially Will Krzyzak, who averages over 21 yards a catch. Seguin's passing game isn't too shabby either, with SMU recruit Katarius Brown and Malachi Meach. The battle will have playoff implications for sure. 7-6A might get some clarity tonight as Jesuit visits Lake Highlands. The Rangers are still an enigma to high school football fans, never quite sure what you're going to get from week to week. They're 2-3 on the year and still have a chance at a district crown, but they have to become more consistent. They should win against all the Irving ISD teams, but head coach Brandon Hickman's team won't be favored too many times against the Richardson ISD teams. The offense has put up points, but it's the Jesuit defense that's been pretty shaky. Meanwhile, Lake Highlands is 3-2 and undefeated in district play. The Wildcats are playing really good football once Christian Rhodes got back in the lineup at tailback. Rhodes is a shifty back. He makes for a good 1-2 punch with quarterback Harrison Day. Either one of these teams can realistically win the 7-6A title, but they'll need to win Thursday night.
Freeflation leaves economists baffled. Getting more for less? It's true for those who switch to Cricket and get a free Samsung Galaxy A14 5G. Smile, you're on Cricket. Inside High School Sports is brought to you by Whataburger, just like you like it. And by Parker University. Check out our bachelor's degree in strength and human performance today.
Our Inside High School insider, Matt Diggs, gives us his thoughts on some of the key matchups in Week 7 in the picks.
A classic what will bend, high-powered offense or high-powered defense starts us out here on the picks this week. McKinney North versus Frisco Reedy. Greg Ard has been amazing the last couple of weeks. This past week, he had 7 carries for 140 yards and 3 touchdowns. Cameron Powell finally seeing some touches for McKinney North. He had 3 catches for 116 yards. But I look at Frisco Reedy and I look at their defense. Their defense is stout. Remember that game against Frisco Emerson where they held them to next to nothing and then held Frisco Wakeland to only 45 yards? I think McKinney North is going to be hard-pressed to find that kind of offensive output against Frisco Reedy. Jake Ferner has been a very efficient quarterback. He's not a big play guy, but he knows how to manage the team. Has only had 3 interceptions and 14 touchdowns this year. I look for Frisco Reedy to take care of business against McKinney North in a pretty substantial way. Duncanville versus DeSoto, game of the week, game of the month, game of the year, game of the state. When you look at Duncanville, against just about everybody, Keelan Russell has been fantastic, had almost 500 yards against Skyline. He is surgical in his ability to read the defenses, and DeSoto's front seven did not show me much against North Crowley. DeSoto's going to score. They've got the skill kids. They've got players who can score against anybody in the state, but can anybody in DeSoto get a stop? I don't think they will. I think Duncanville is going to take care of business and avenge last year's loss against DeSoto. Longview versus Forney. Last week, Longview had the performance of the year with Kelvin Washington with almost 491, well, exactly 491 all-purpose yards, almost 400 yards rushing the ball. Really identified himself as a player to watch. But part of that is Rockwall's porous defense, and part of that is the home cooking. Rockwall was intimidated by Lobo Stadium. Not quite like Sauk was. Sauk took care of business there. Forney and Longview have played the last couple of years. Forney is motivated. It's going to be at Forney. I think that's going to be a major factor. I think that you look at Forney as something to prove after the game against North Forney. I think Forney pulls a little bit of an upset against Longview and takes care of business and avenges their loss against North Forney and finds our way back into the district title picture. I'm the Professor, and those are my Week 7 picks.
We caught up with another big-time athlete on the gridiron in this week's Recruiting Trail.
Javion Holiday from Duncanville High School. I play cornerback. What I'm looking for in the college program is like the environment, like how they play, how they act when they lose, how they act when they win, like just all that type of stuff. Like, I want to feel like I'm not forced to do anything. I feel like it's just all on me. Like, I want them to feel like it's home, basically. I want the fan base to know about me that I feel like my personality is very outgoing, and I want to be a movie actor. So sometime in the future, check out for me in a movie. Well, I just got into IHSS, so that's one for the classroom already. And on the field, go undefeated and win another state championship. The legacy that I want to leave, ain't nobody never asked me that. A legacy I want to leave on like I want to know the younger people that's under me, like it's okay to like make mistakes and do stuff like that, because they be thinking since they play corner and they get beat a lot, because they young, they just started playing, they gonna get beat. They think like just because they get beat it's all snap. It's like, oh, they it's the end of the world. I gotta let them know they can have a short-term memory and go on to the next play.
Cricket Wireless has an offer that's going to blow up your group chat. 4 lines for only $25 per month each with nationwide 5G. Smile, you're on Cricket. Inside High School Sports is brought to you by Golden Chick. One taste and you're golden. And by Kubota, the #1 selling compact tractor in Texas. For details, visit gokubota.com. Kubota, together we do more.
Our producer, Ward Fasold, caught up with DeSoto head coach Claude Mathis to talk about his mega matchup with Duncanville in this week's Media Day segment.
All right, it's Media Day, and Claude Mathis is joining us from DeSoto. Coach, this game's always the biggest game circled on the calendar, not just for this area, but the entire state. All eyes are going to be looking at it, but it comes on a bye week too, so you got a chance to put some tricks and trinkets, work on some stuff that maybe you ain't worked on a little bit. how much of an advantage is it that you don't have to play like maybe a Skyline or something, and then the following week you have Duncanville, where you have 10 to 12 days to prepare for this big game?
Well, you know what? I don't know how much advantage it is, but I'm just glad we needed a bye week. We definitely need that. We need to heal up a little bit and, rest some bodies a little bit too as well. It's been a tough season for us so far. And, coming off a physical Waxahachie game, we needed it. So, we have Duncanville and with Chessman. We're definitely taking advantage of the bye week. I don't know about tricks and stuff like that, but
well, nothing you want to tell me. Nothing you're going to tell me for sure. Talk to me about how, and I want to talk about your quarterback play, because Keldon, this is his first year in your system here. He seems to really grabbed hold of it pretty well. I mean, he's been one of the best dual threats we've seen this year. Talked about how he's kind of worked with your offense there, because you got 25 touchdowns on the ground already, and plus he's handling his business in the air as well.
Very proud of him. Very proud of this young man. Came in and grasped the offense as fast as possible. Took charge of the offense already. And actually, he's still learning the offense, and that's what's the scary thing about our offense right now. Once he gets completely into just really knowing the offense, the in and outs, he's going to be really more dangerous than what he is right now. But very proud of him right now. Able to throw the ball, able to run the ball with him. Definitely a dual threat quarterback. Very smart with the ball, very smart in the classroom. But he's fun. He's fun to watch. I told him I'm a fan. I am a definite fan of him when I see him out there on the field and everything. And such a great kid, man. I'm glad he was able to come here, and we're enjoying him always right now so far. But what a great kid he is. He's a great kid.
This feels like one of those games where you look back to last year. Obviously, I think you scored twice before they even had their offense on the field. Maybe it was even 3 times. I think it was 14-0 before they even put their offense on the field. You got the win. It was great. It propelled you. Between me and you, you're probably going to win the Division II state title, whether you won that game or not. But it propelled you onto an undefeated season. This year, now you look back at it and like, we beat them last year. I just talked about how you had 10 days to prepare. They got a 10-2, plus they got the old chip on the shoulder that you like to keep perched on yours. They got it on theirs too. How much are you looking for? Obviously, they're going to be looking for retribution, but looking for something that maybe they'll try to kick back and get some points on the board before your offense gets out there.
Well, you got to remember they've beaten us the previous 2 years, maybe 3 years. So I still got another couple more chips on my shoulder too as well. So we just finally got one of them off last year. So no, it's one of those things where, we want to beat on each other. The district title is always at stake when we played Duncanville. And it's just one of those things where I know they're going to be out for revenge. But again, like I said before, we still want some revenge our own selves from the past couple of years when we played those guys. So very good ball club. I know Reginald will have those guys ready to play. And, it's just one of the things where a lot of high school fans are going to be able to watch a great game on Friday.
That's true. You knocked the Doritos off your shoulder, but you still got baked Lays and Fritos up there that you got to get rid of too. I got you.
True. Very true. Very true. Trust me, we don't forget. I mean, it was, like I said, it was a good game last year, and we was able to get one of them knocked off. But like I said before, we got a couple more on here.
All right, Coach, I appreciate you joining us, man. We're all going to be out there at Eagle Stadium to figure out what's going on. So I appreciate you joining me, and good luck this Friday.
Always, man. Thanks, Ward. I appreciate you, man.
Hey, that'll do it for today's show. Thanks for joining us. We leave you with Professor Diggs' DFW rankings. You are now all warmed up and ready to go for this week's Texas high school football.